Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and today I'm here with a book haul. A few months ago I did a book haul for Ollie's when they made a move to Toms River, New Jersey, and I paid a second visit there and bought several more books and joined Ollie's Army, which means that I get discounts off of the things that I buy while I'm there. And they have a great book selection, especially when it comes to history. So I thought I would share with you what I bought. The first thing that I got is Batman Superman, which is Volume 1, Crossworld, part of DC Comics' New 52 series. And this is a paperback of the first to fourth issues of the Batman Superman series. I'm much more of a Batman person, even though I'm interested to see how this series pans out, and for $3.99, why not? Now we move on to the history books. The first one that I got is How Alexander Hamilton Screwed Up America, by Brion, McClanahan, and there's a foreword by Ron Paul, which I am a huge enthusiast for. Ron Paul and his contributions to public service. Alexander Hamilton picked up a great deal of acclaim in recent years because of the adaptation of Hamilton, the musical on Broadway, that Lin-Manuel Miranda put together. But Hamilton was an advocate for a large federal government and was not as much of a states' rights person the way that Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Aaron Burr, and others were. Hamilton was also known for being the first Secretary of Treasury, which is why he makes an appearance on the $10 bill. And he was also known infamously for engaging in a duel with Aaron Burr and was shot and killed. But this is an argument that reminds us that there's a great deal of hype that's placed on Alexander Hamilton. I'm not the hugest fan of his on the historical level. I do believe that he deserves to be on the $10 bill because he was the first Secretary of Treasury, which makes him key. But I'll be interested to learn more about where Hamilton really stood through this book. The next book that I got is Founding Rivals, Madison versus Monroe, the Bill of Rights, and the Election That Saved a Nation by Chris DeRose. James Madison and James Monroe, who were the 4th and 5th President of the United States, previously ran for the same district in Virginia. And at that time, James Madison was known for being the one that wrote up the U.S. Constitution and was a great advocate for what it stood for. James Monroe felt that that was not necessarily the case, but it's quite interesting that the two of them were very key figures in the development of the country, and I'll really be interested to learn more about their rivalry per se, because both of them would be able to make contributions to the country in their very own way. Next book that I got is Backstage at the Lincoln Assassination, The Untold Story of the Actors and Stagehands at Ford's Theater by Thomas A. Bogar. And this book has to do with the Lincoln assassination from the point of view of those that were performing in Our American Cousin on April 14th, 1865. The next two books that I got were presidential biographies, one of which is Coolidge, An American Enigma by Robert Sobel, which is a general biography of Calvin Coolidge, his upbringing, his rise in politics, and his presidency during the 1920s. And I also got Nixon, A Life by Jonathan Aitken, which does the same for President Nixon. And on the topic of Nixon, I got two books that really caught my attention and were a terrific price. And those two books are the Nixon tapes. These are the tapes of the conversations that were taking place between Nixon and others from 1971 to 1972, and this is what was taking place in 1973. Because Nixon, being the very paranoid person that he was, demonstrated a great sense of fear. But while it was the Watergate scandal that was really that would really be known as the moment that would ruin his presidency and also his life, it was the Huston Plan that he was more concerned about, and having that leak out to the general public. And the Nixon tapes were edited and annotated by Douglas Brinkley and Luke A. Nitcher. So these are the books that I bought while I was at Ollie's for the second time, in particular the Ollie's in Toms River. And I definitely plan to go back there at some point in time. Hopefully there are plenty of more general reads and just history books that catch my attention. Thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you check out some more videos from our channel, and for now, keep reading.